Ooh, skibbity-bop-bop, ba-ba-da-boop-ba, skibbity-bitty-bitty-boo. Yeah, Buzzies, man. Like it's we kind of need to know. We don't really need to know where to get the information. We need it all coming together on that one cheeky little piece. So we are live. What's happening, Crypto Fam and Futureverse friends? Welcome back to Love for Crypto. It is great to have you here. I'm joined by Chris from CryptoPunk, and we'll be going over Futureverse news. You can see it all scrolling on the news reel if that ticker's working right. You'll see it flying around the bottom. We're going to start with the Spotufy news. I don't think many people, Chris, realize exactly how massive this news is regarding drawing people towards new Web3 functionality. And what I'm basically getting at, guys, is they're proud to announce that with Spotufy has chosen Fluf World to take part in an exclusive new pilot. This is the kind of thing where Spotufy have clearly been looking for a way to implement NFTs as a gateway to certain playlists. Not quite had the project to do it with, and all of a sudden, boom, the one chosen is Fluf World. So they are offering exclusive token-gated playlists to Fluf World assets. Each holder of the asset will get access to each collection. It's starting with the Party Bears. So their playlist is the Rave Cave, an energetic bass-thumping collection of the biggest bangers and festival favourites, guaranteed to get the dance floor pumping at your next party. It will expand to Fluffs and Seekers. They'll also have their own playlist, which will go live in the coming weeks. Holders must have the relevant asset to access each playlist. So you'll need a bear to get the bears playlist, a fluff to get the fluffs, and a seeker to get the seeker, and so on for every asset after that. It's Android only. And for anyone wondering, this will be the reason it's Android only. This picture right here, you can see that there's going to be some sort of web app or Google Play Store app, but with the verification is going to ping you to what looks like either a web app interface or your actual Android internet to connect to MetaMask or your chosen wallet. This is the thing the Apple phone's not going to let you do yet. Just like it won't let you go to Google or Safari and download direct downloads that it doesn't like and doesn't want, the APK files and stuff like that. It's just not going to let you do it. So if you're on iPhone and you want in Web3 games and apps as soon as possible, I would consider bouncing. I'm avid Android anyway. I'd always tempt you to move. But regarding Web3, I think it's time to bounce. What you're saying, Chris, is like, why is Apple like...
I think it's to do with the 30% fee they want from NFT sales and stuff. So, and it's pretty, closed circuit in Apple. It's not like Android, is it? It's all
So
open
why is there
source.
not just an Apple C? Like, why compete?
C, yeah.
Compete? Yeah. Compete, man.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, bro? Imagine how many people would have used a blockbuster streaming service before the Netflix one. You would have you'd have used what you know. You'd stick with what you know. All these Apple users now that are clutching at the straws to think, how am I gonna use this app? I'm gonna use these games I've invested in. And Apple's like, well, come on, Apple, sort it out. If you want more information on the Spotify announcement, then feel free to go to Fluf's Twitter, the Discord, ask some questions in there. There's plenty more. The OpenSpotify.com, the actual Rave Cave playlist. If you own a bear, go and check it out, especially if you're on Android. Links in the description. Sticking on the Party Bears, they revealed the Cyber Buzzies. And I tell you what, they look absolutely fantastic. Whichever version's your favourite. So let keep the noise off. I don't want the noise on. Full screen that bad boy. Oh, pause.
Look at the quality in there.
Right, yeah, we're gonna come back. Boom. Broken glass eyes. Like, look at the. I mean, when you start playing around with Blender, you realize how easy all this is. when you're extremely skilled, which then just brings you to another corridor of respecting how extremely skilled these asset creators are. We have all seen assets of this quality in games before, but not of this creativity. I'm struggling to think of anything that's quite as creative as this. I mean, look at the rope, the rackets, the tape, yeah, the textures, the scratches, the strings. They're absolutely fantastic. Even the Transformer ones. I mean, look at that. That's like denim. It's like a denim buzzer. Oh my days.
That's awesome, isn't it, that one? Look at the compass
Look
in the
at,
eyes.
mate, you took the words right out of my mouth. Look at the detail in the legs, the little springs, the little toggles.
Look at that, watches for eyes.
Serious.
Rolex.
I mean, we could probably missing a few as we ping through here, but I mean, each and every one of them is absolute. Them eyes are sick, regardless of the color. And when we get to the Transformer type, the next level. And I must admit, I have to be honest, I'd completely forgotten that more Buzzies were coming beyond the zombies. I have to hold my hands up. And then it took us to that post of the Region 5.
Terminus.
So there's been 4 regions of Buzzies at the moment. And we're set for another one. Chris, you seem to think it's a cosmic family. Not too sure. I can't remember reading anything about that. I remember reading a load of these different graphics about the lore. And we'll get into the lore being put into one place very, very soon. But there's another family on the way. I think it's safe to say. Keep your eyes peeled. How many have not revealed yet? Do we know, Chris? Have you had a look at that?
I've got a feeling there's between sort of, I think it's 7 and 1,000 left to reveal. Maybe not even that many. So they're a giga rare, the last family.
Yeah, they're them purple pink eyes. They are absolutely fabulous. If you don't own a buzzer, if you are into in-game consumables or crafting, they potentially got seeker type missions as well. They're like a thinger that can build objects and consumables for in-game. So if you haven't got one, maybe consider picking one up through Open Sea. The next thing I want to jump to is the Gods and Goblins Precious. Oh, little right there, Precious. This is it. But there's 3 of them. There's 3 Precious. So we start with this green one here, and now me being a gamer, I love me crafting, I love me consumables, I love what it takes to get to that consumable and what can be made from 2 things go together and that. So mention to Chris that I believe the technique, like in Lord of the Rings, once Cerimbor, or Cerimbor, however you want to pronounce his name, once he's dead and a few other people are dead with a ring, it's lost, the skill's gone. I like to think about these rings as that. I think the amulets, once minted, they're a lost skill. You're not going to be able to make any more, but the stones within the amulets, there may still be crafting potential for these stones. The green one within the bronze amulet is called Verdine. Verdine, that green stone is Verdine. It will be an emerald, is the rare sign of life from the decaying bark, inspires hope into our kind, with multiple rituals and ceremonies surrounding the mythical mineral. It's an emerald green substance that seeps from the dead tree once every century. It doesn't, they've released all 3. I'll have to do a little bit of scrolling to find the silver one. But here we go. For the silver, we're on Cerulide. Oh, Chris. Wait, I don't know where that came from, me, but that was spot on. So one of the sacred minerals is used to craft the silver amulets. It could be we're not even discussing the metals here. I don't think it's literally the gems. So this is embedded underneath a cascading subterranean waterfall. This glowing crystal blue substance holds many secrets within its depths. Don't be surprised, like we said the other week, and I did a little cheeky Seeker stream playing Star Trek, showing how we do crafting on Star Trek and finding different things and putting them together to make something else. And don't be surprised if the Seekers can go on missions to go and collect some of this stuff, just like we're expecting them to potentially go and get Aetherite and other kinds of resources for us. We could well be on missions to go and get this. Last but not least, that ring's a bad boy. That ring's a bad... You seen an head on that ring, mate? That's like gangster. Gonna leave this imprinted on your FOD if you're not careful, ring, that. Can we pause it as it pans around? It's got a goblin face on it. Red emerald gem. So the cornerstone of the gold amulets, Emberite, is mined deep in the belly of Mount Taurus, where the molten rivers of lava flow with furious rage. Famous for its durability and strength, Emberite has been prized by bloodthirsty goblin warlords for centuries. Gonna be expensive, so within the crafting materials of Goblin World, I think these are going to be up there as some of the most sought out materials we want to be gathering if you want to be crafter. You want to get your buzzer building with these. I mean, we do a hell of a lot of speculating, don't we, regarding the crafting and what the buzzes and the objects they're going to be building and the consumables are going to be building, but you don't have to be a genius to be or a gamer to look at this bad boy here in his armor and think, well, gem imbued gauntlets and shoulder braces, and he's got little potion carriers here. So what the Buzzies going to be, what kind of consumables are the Buzzies going to be creating that go in these little vials that they're holding on the belts? Fully expecting you to be able to pass the Seeker some of these stones and get some consumables in return. I mean, it's getting there, isn't it, man? 8th of March, the sacrifice ends.
Yeah, it's like 4 days, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, still not sacrificed.
No, have you seen the stats as well on prawns? It's quite interesting, really, because you know, with the weighting and how we had concerns on how the voting for the DAO was going to take place. You know, there's a lot more bronze than there is gold, so I think it's going to be quite balanced there. You know,
Interesting.
you can sort of see it panning out.
Interesting. You've probably got people with a bronze and a gold, to be honest, though. Being perfectly honest. If you want more on Gods and Goblins, and there is more, as we say, regarding the Seekers and the lore and whatnot and what's coming after, there's plenty to speculate about and chat about in the Discord, on the Twitter. Links in the description. Go and give them a follow. Walker World, next up, the usual Walker Weekly. This is getting excited, mate. Present time ain't 2023. Like we thought, or like I thought. So, there've been reports of UFOs crashing in Walker World. Do you recognize this background from somewhere? We wonder what secrets the mysterious world of the crashed spacecraft might hold. I swear to God, man, like I called it before, but I actually feel like some people's walkers are aliens in disguise. You think you minted a walker, but you got an alien in disguise. What's happening, Kevin? Yesterday was birthday. Happy birthday, mate. Late to the comments there, but happy birthday. Like, yeah, I think there might be aliens in disguise. It was mentioned in the lore a little bit further back. So they've been building further functionality for the Walker World Architecture Builder. This is fascinating and super exciting for me. Hoping to get some Walker World land in the land sale, and this is exactly the tools we're going to be using to build on it. So game economy design for the land builder is in progress, where the players gather resources to build. Playable mission location is ready for internal play testing. Super exciting that they're that close to actually testing the missions out and building a game economy design for the land builder. So when you own land and you want to build on it, what we've spoken in the past, you could build a theme park, a gallery. The potential is ridiculous. Just build a normal game level if you want. The lore devs overheard in Walker World 2031. 2031 is the current cheeky little lore jump. Now, we've promised a lore jump. Expect more to come and a big video and whatnot of in 2031 or 2030, maybe even 2027. But what led to this? But the zombies, they break every window they see. They pull up crops for no reason. They love to jump into traffic. I mean, look, everything's ruined. These pro-zombie people are out of their fucking minds. There are pro-zombie walkers. Imagine that. Pro-zombie walkers, eh? That's probably a little hint at the fact that some players own walkers and can potentially set up an in-game companion that's a zombie if you own a walker zombie as well. So in the future, you could potentially be fighting zombies with a little zombie companion of your own, forcing a zombie to kill other zombies. This is Web3, baby. Anything goes. Anything goes. That's like super fascinating, that. Biz and Beyond. It's looking at several different speaking opportunities at upcoming conferences, planning partnership meetings at GDC. Also, several potential big brand opportunities are being explored. Staking leaks continue. Just launched our trait raffle program. More deets in the Discord. Staking's coming, Walker World. They keep introducing more little raffles, more little cheeky little giveaways and whatnot, and it just keeps growing and snowballing, and eventually it will just fan out into the whole staking protocol within Walker World and their assets. Super excited, and get to the Discord and ask if you want to know more. They've released a community calendar for the beautiful month of March, inviting the community to join them for some fun events throughout the month. It's marching season, baby. See you around Walker World. So we can expand this. Basically, our Drifting Carts Gaming, Arcade AMA, Core Testing Gaming, and Mutant AMA, and other AMAs and community events marked on with times given, so everyone can be prepared, plan for it, and make sure you don't miss out. Again, more information about AMAs, and congrats to Mullen NZ01 for winning the Walker Weekly last week. This week's, they want alien stories, guys. I've not dropped a story yet. I actually meant to do it before and I forgot. Literally just remembered. I'll be doing it by the morning. Drop a cheeky little calling all believers and skeptics alike. We want to find the most intriguing UFO and alien stories out there. So like and retweet the Walker Weekly video at the top of the cheeky UFO. And then drop a comment. Share your sightings, theories, and encounters with the hashtag Walker Alien Stories for a chance to win a special prize. Doing it weekly, Walker World, and fair play to him. I'm absolutely loving this Walker Weekly drop of little nuggets. Allows us to just briefly run through it on this channel while they're giving stuff away every week. And again, it's getting super excited how close we are, not just to the game launch, how close to it they seem to be, how far along they are with the development, but the staking and stuff. It is coming, baby. It is coming. Walker World's lore is great. All the lore is great. Fluf World's lore, party bears, buzzies, things, it's all a little bit segregated. If you can find these and you can find them all, you're smashing it and you'll read most of the lore. If you struggle to find the post where these are actually done now, have no fear. It will be sorted very soon with When Lore, baby. So Fluf World, fluff.world/when lore. A new page on the website's popped up with lore coming soon. So no doubt they're going to drop a load of lore deets here. Everything to do with the fluffs, the bears, the links to ASM. I'm expecting everything on this. So we'll see how it plays out in the future, where it goes, and what they drop. Regarding the bears and that, mate, I mean, what are you most excited about game-wise regarding the Third Kingdom? Like, is there anything even really been released beyond just the assets and the boroughs?
Not really. It's just first sort of games that are coming out on mobile. Really, you know, it's just a waiting game, isn't it? It's
So
other than playing the meta game of collecting.
I guess the biggest thing's the wreck in it. So it would,
Yeah.
I mean, because isn't the wreck the same event that caused the Goblin Portal to be destroyed?
Not sure. Not sure.
If it is, it's potentially linked to the Goblin Gods of what actually happened. But you had the wreck, and the wasteland was developed, and that's where all the undead come from. In Fluff World, the undead, the zombie fluffs and bears, and the zombie thingies and buzzies, and the rest of it all from the wreck. Again, bit segregated, even on Fluff World actual site. When you click the collection and go to Buzzies like you originally did when they first started revealing it, had the new locations, they're no longer showing the way they used to show.
Yeah, hopefully this lore
this
page
new
sorts
lore
that.
page is gonna drop a few bombs. I think. I don't think it's gonna just be everything that we currently know all put in one place. I think it's gonna be everything we currently know put in one place with a few little alpha cherries on the top, shall we say. Moving on to Atem Car Club, they've had an upgrade in the garage. There's a few updates. Again, they've done a little bit of a multi-thread like Walker World did. So rev up your engines. The March issue of Under the Hood monthly just hit the streets. Get ready to cruise through the latest updates from around the club and relive the hottest events of the month. What we're basically excited about here, what I saw before, is a team of developers have been busy this month, adding new features and crushing bugs in the garage. They look forward to enhanced movement controls, improved interaction points, and smoother collision mechanics. Come check out the upgrades and share your feedback. So they're talking about in the actual garage where you go to move about, check the blueprints, check the cars and whatnot. They want this garage smooth sailing because it looks almost definitely the place where the cars are going to be revealed, built in front of your face by the nanobots on your platform. I think the more people that use it and give a bit of feedback, how you'd like it to react and how it is reacting, just keep giving feedback. Just keep pumping it at them. They're doing the poker tournaments. If you're interested in that, not really my thing, but should really shout it out because the tweet's there. But yeah, they raised over 222k for the New Zealand Storms and that as well. It was absolutely fantastic effort from the community to raise money. They've got real world stuff going on at it. I don't really look too much at it, but your track card is to do with real world stuff. Again, I've not really looked too much at it, but if you are interested in actual real world Atem projects, they have got their first club owned car being worked on by skill teams from New Zealand and USA. They're combining the best of both styles, showcasing to the community support and Web3 can merge car cultures on an international level. So again, it's super exciting to see how these innovative thinkers that have not only just created a new way to game with the AI and the excitement of incorporating blockchain and NFTs to it, but how they know out into the real world and really truly start implementing that with other people within the car industry, whether you're into your physical or your virtual reality. It can't hurt to give it a little bit of testing. Let's go and test the waters, see what you like. Next up, exciting news for gamers and space enthusiasts. Refined Meteorite membership cards will be joining the Elite TMC Mars community in their very own garage, thanks to our exciting partnership with Board Box. A lot of people already knew this, already released last week, but it does. Damn, that was loud. But it doesn't hurt to get a little bit more information. I think the textures in this Mars garage are pretty sick. The lights, the neons, just the whole tone of it. The whole tone of it.
Yeah.
So the cutting-edge Atem base and garage facilities, the state-of-the-art complex, will serve as the epicenter of our partnership with Box and the ultimate gaming hub for all things Mars, offering an immersive experience like no other. A large range of Genesis parts are being built and tested. They look epic. Also, our extremely impressive front-end team led by Sean, and I can't really read that without writing. Oh dear, it stopped on me, Muppet. I had to pause it. They're putting a web functionality to the best digital reality space in the space, basically. The web functionality, I feel there's going to be a lot of browser base at first with the MetaMask connection. Kind of got to expect that, I guess, but the mobile MetaMask will be able to connect, but it's going to be super interested how all this... We was talking about the other day, weren't we, about the interoperability functionality of bouncing from one game to another. Is it really going to be at first where I'm likely going to have to close Walker World down myself, then go open Wilder World, bounce into Wilder World, have this asset, that asset, and potentially have a brain with me that remembers what I've just done, but might not be like that. From the off, it might be hit a portal in Walker World, arrive in Wilder World, and you've just had to do a little loading screen while a program in the background closed Walker World and open Wilder World. It's going to be super interesting to see how they make it truly interoperable. Will it become like a galaxy in Star Trek where I just fly from one planet to the other? If there's cosmic Buzzies on the way, who knows? Could be a big space station up there where they live. You picked up Atem Card recently, Chris. You want to talk about why you got it?
Well, really, because it was one of the ones that I could afford that I haven't got, and I've got a thing for collecting them. So yeah, I just wanted to get. I'd want to get one of each, really. That's the main thing. Got a little bit of a buzz for them, so I'm at my limit now. The rest of them they're getting a bit pricey, so I saw them being dropped on the floor, so why not?
Well, my friend, there's a chance to win an all gold engine. Atem Card. Yes. Ready to turn up the volume. Tune into this month's Garage Radio and get ready to be blown away. Producers Timberland and Gino the Ghost have teamed up with Beat Club to create the ultimate track, All Gold Engine.
Ghost has got one of these 24k cards.
Yeah. It's, I mean, like, what's the best Atem? I mean, what would be the best one to have at the moment from what we know? Would you say the Mars one?
Yeah, I mean, I think I saw them at point 3, but they, they're getting pricey every day. They're, getting out of reach. But I'd say, yeah, at the minute, those are the most interesting ones. You got the Angel Baby one as well.
I think
Verdis Mantis isn't talked about much, but that looks like a decent one.
Yeah, I think quite a few of the executive ones with certain nanobots are going to be a lot better than people think. Yeah, I've just got a cheeky little feeling there.
But at the minute, only the Mars ones are executives, I think.
Now, there's an actual executive background, though.
Oh, okay, the background.
Yeah, but there's like 10 different cars in the background, but depending on what bot you've got, could have if you've got like Goblin Tech, could have like a goblified vehicle, if that's a thing.
I think it was interesting where you were saying earlier about it was in this magazine about the Genesis parts being made. So that's going to be interesting to see what comes from them.
Yeah, because some parts only go on certain cars. So there'll be parts that are created in the game that physically will not, no matter what you do, fit on a certain vehicle.
Right.
So it's going to be super interesting. When they was talking about that, they brought up Gran Turismo as basically, although they named turbos slightly different, It was always just stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4 turbo, and you did this and that to your brakes, you did that and that. And that was on every car. Now, that don't wash in the real world, does it? You can't tune up the same amount of things on my Fiesta as you can on a Bugatti. Just don't think about it. You can't. There's no point. Like, you just can't. Bugatti's got 10 radiators, mate. Mine's got 1. Alright? You probably couldn't even fit the engine and the radiators in the back of my Fiesta car. It's not comparable. So something that's designed for extreme sporting is going to take more turbos than something that's not. Something that's designed to fly and hover is going to accept thrusters. Your car's not. Wants tyres. You know what I mean? Not that your hover vehicle won't have tyres, but yeah, with the Genesis parts and them actually being for different vehicles, that's, again, could come down to the Buzzies and the Seekers and what they start throwing together for you.
Well, see, well, this is the thing as well. The fuel that the cars run on. Each car has got a different fuel, hasn't it? So I'm wondering if different combinations of the Buzzy materials, you know, say for example you're staking root with, I don't know, psilocybin honey, you're gonna produce a different type of fuel that you need for your car. I don't know.
So I've got a couple of cards. Are our cars coming with brains? The pre-built in-game brains that already know how to play the game, aren't there? But they can be trained. So they have a built-in Gen 2 brain, basically.
Yep.
So, if you missed the AMA recently from ASM, they gave out a little bit of alpha. Go and check it out on the YouTube if you missed it. There's also NFT Bro's write up of it on his Twitter. Links in the description. Now, basically, they're doing a community genome mapping event. So, attributes assigned to areas of brains. The community event with the prawns and the Genesis brain holders can participate. So, if we go to the prawns. The prawns. Oh, I ain't got an address. Oh, I'm not gonna find it there. We just look at Genesis brains. It usually just has Genome there, doesn't it? Gotta connect my wallet first. My full screener a sec. Project events, resources, brain mapping. Boom. Close her back. There she goes. Gen 2 brains. So let me open OpenSea. Because I think this is going to really build out from ASM Gen 2 brains. That's one your wallet, blood. That's one your wallet, blood. Give me your wallet. Give me one to find out what he's got. I'm gonna find out what he's got. Right, so they can be trained. So in theory, the weight actually doesn't matter at first. Yeah, you could get a brilliant brain at first off the bat, but doesn't mean if you get a rubbish one, you can't train it up. So the genome weight, come to the genome map. We've got map there, and we've got a distribution from 0 to 9, and it's 13, 44, 56, 72, and there's basically, that's how many squares of that color are in that map. Yeah. So when we think about what it said in the white paper about the genome, it's got up to 10. So I don't know don't know what we're what we're really gonna think about that, because it should. See, these go up to 10. These are the numbers here now. So from the difference being, when we're on prawns, we're just getting this fragmented colour. We don't really mean anything on the prawns. And when you come here, you're getting all these numbers. You're getting blue circles on the hotspots. And we've clearly got 3 yellow hotspots there. Are they the same hotspots? What does it all mean? We don't really know. We do know that the blue circles above describe a world's expression mapping. The expression is a lookup table which allows to form attributes needed to operate in that world. For example, a soccer game world would express speed, strength, and intelligence from defined areas of attributes. Example, the top left and middle right. Suggesting the top left and the middle right could be for speed and strength. But we don't know. We're guessing, we're speculating. I think this genome mapping event with the prawns is going to bring more clarity around this. It's going to tell us what this square in the top's for, what this square's for, what that square's for, what the little squares inside the bigger squares are for, and more. Super excited for it. Super excited. Peckham, you on your mic?
I am indeed, my friend.
Yeah.
I am indeed. Welcome.
Came in at the right time then, bro. Basically just finishing up the news points with ASM.
Oh, good. I had Ace Jack, and I heard you were streaming, so I decided to go all in and lost, and I raced home.
Oh, was you on
I thought
poker?
you'd be in on Genesis. Brains.
Yeah. Junction 6, where all the pros go to die. So, no, never mind. I shan't say anymore. There might be people watching that go there.
Yeah, what do you reckon about this genome waiting event? We're going to get clarity on what...
All I know is that I am already perfectly positioned for no matter what happens. So absolutely bring it on.
Nice.
Personally, I wake up every day, and or when I get home, and I click a link, and I have a perfect setup on OpenSea that tells me if anyone has actually listed a good seeker or a good ASM brain. So I would wholly recommend that.
We'll have a check how many seekers have been burned.
There's a few being listed. Prices are going up though. Prices are going up. Getting pricey.
I think when we look at this event kick off, what you'll see people realise is what the brains are going to be good at and what they're going to be cack at.
Is that your wallet?
No, this is just some random guy off OpenSea.
Oh right, okay, fine.
But I think what people, unless you've got a brain that is already good and functioning for a task that you want, I think the best thing to do is to train the dark areas first.
Right, hang on. Right, no. So the highlighted areas in yellow is where you have a high skill tree already allocated on that brain.
Yeah.
So if, for example, you were to click it and then you open up the actual distribution on that brain, you'll see that on 1 or 2 columns you'll have a really high number.
Yeah, on whatever's got the most, whatever the biggest colour of square is. So there's more ones than any other.
The way I understand it is that, there you go. So you see those bright yellow areas, that's what's correlating to those higher scores.
Yeah.
So if you could, for example, find the exact polar opposite of that brain. So in other words, you had 7 and 8 really high, number 9 in the same way that 0 is.
You're gonna have to create that.
No, you're not. Because it's the other way round. So you will find some brains.
No, you would get you would get extremely lucky to get a fucking brain that's minted.
But there are some
with 300 squares.
No. But
that are at level 9. It's not the opposite. You'd have to be at level 9 on that map, mate. Level 9 or 10. Otherwise, you're not yellow.
Different skill trees.
Have you seen the Ascendeds compared to?
Nah, because you understand that's what it is, though, Peckham. That distribution. That says 13 yellow in 9 because there's 13 squares that are the power of 9.
So what?
And yellow. That's all that means.
Each one.
No, I sat there and
rela-
counted a whole fucking square of them, mate. Don't tell me all the numbers don't add up when I literally let the mathematician in my head go wild. I've sat there and counted them, mate. 1,600 squares, bro.
All right.
Every
So what
single
I'm saying-
genome.
But each one correlates to something on that map.
Yeah, each
So
one's got
whether-
100 in it. Each square means something. It says that to you. Like, literally, you came in the stream as I was fucking reading it, but it literally says it in the white paper. And even the blue circles are even world attributes through expression mapping. So from each one of these boxes, never mind even just the blue circles, they have a certain weight. And there's no way 0 is the best level. Because that's not how you linearly rising weight here. All them zeros there are skillless. Skillless. So basically, if you want, let's just go arbitrary and running or thieving. You joined a thieves guild in a game, right? And you want your guy to be a thief. But this square here is for thieving. This is the thieving square. So you'd have to start training inside that square. These yellow bits, bruh, he's already good in there. It don't really necessarily need work. Yeah, you're gonna get all these up to 9 faster than you get that whole square all up to 8. But there'll be a cost as well. To turn a 0 square into a 1, it is gonna be well cheaper to turn a 0 to a 1 than it is turning an 8 to a 9. Believe me. Believe me, I play grinding games. They do it in Star Trek all the time. Like, the more you progress, it costs a bomb. So if you want to jump into this, yeah, by all means, you could produce more 9s straight away. You've got 44 8s that are ready to become 9s. But you've also got flaming 248 zeros that could do with being 1s.
All right. So bring up your highest weighted. Bring up the highest weighted one on there. So whatever it is.
We could get one in the 5,000s, mate, and he's still not going to have many yellows. He'll have 50 yellows tops. I don't reckon you'll find you'll be lucky to get one with over 100 and keep hold of that. Don't sell it.
Hey, bring that far left one up. 4454. Scroll up. Scroll up. Two up. Scroll 2 up. You're going down.
19.
One more. There you go. Let's bring that one up. Distribution. So you see how that one's got a really low 0.
Yeah, he's just got less of the.
Yeah, but look at number 1 and 2. You see how it's got
No,
really
but
high one?
look. There's less space that is 0.
I'm sure, but what I'm saying is, look at number 1 and 2. Now look at how you've got centralized points.
Yeah, but
you can see how number 1 and number 2 are quite likely to be those centralized points.
But the one we was on before this, so the genome I'm got now, whatever this square is. That previous brain that we was on that was 3,000 and something, I don't know which one it is now, I wouldn't even be able to click on it, but it was a 3,000 or it was over 1,000 less than this brain in weight. Yet in this square, he's gonna shit on it. Because that was yellow in this square. So whatever these skills are, that other brain murks it. And they're potentially a good little battle in that because it had yellows there as well. But everywhere else is a different story. That's what we've got to weigh up. But we don't know what the fucking squares mean. This is what this thing is about now, and I think that this attributes event, the genome mapping event, attributes assigned to areas of brain, community event with the prawns and the Genesis brain holders can participate. I think you're going to get your attributes for your Gen 1s. So I'm on the Gen 2 page here now. If I'd have actually gone to Gen 1s, which just wallet might not have any. No, he didn't have any. I've not got any. But if we had Gen 1 genomes, they're going to find out first what them actual weights mean. And I'd be extremely surprised if it doesn't transfer over exactly the same from this. If the ones for that, the Gen 1 is the same. Like, you're not wrong. You could literally go in and just hit all them 8s, get them up to 9s, and already you bump your yellow up. But then you've got no 8s left. You'd have none left in the green because they'd have all gone up to 9. And then you'd have to bump all your 7s up to 8s and all your 6s up to 7s. You're better off starting at 0. Bump them all up to 1. Bump all the 1s to 2. All the 2s to 3. All the 3s to 4. But all you do is once you're at the 1s, 2s and 3s, you start concentrating on what you actually want that brain to be good at. And maybe in 3, 4, 5, or 10 years' time, we've all got brains that are just sick across the board, no matter what you want them to do.
So from your research then, how are you bumping these brains up?
AE,
I can't.
Astro Energy, you're going to have to pay. These people with millions of Astro Energy are going to be able to do what you're saying, a map flip. We'll call it a map flip, yeah? Where you flip your genome map. That's what we'll say. We'll call it a map flip. And these people that have got millions of Astro, they will do all the ones like that. The 2s, the 3s, the 4s, the 5s, the 6. Probably on 10 brains before they're through the 10 million Astro or whatever they've got. Astro Energy. If you pay Astro, it might be a little bit cheaper. But this is coming. This is happening. It's an event. It's planned. And it's literally
so you're saying that you can only use Astro Energy, which you
I believe in
staking.
Nah, I think in the end it'll be root and everything will be able to pay for it. You'll be able to pay Great British pounds or US dollars for it in the end.
Yeah,
yes.
That would appease to the masses.
Yeah, you are not pulling people away from Star Trek, Warcraft, and all that if you haven't got a coin that can put real money on.
So do you think that's why the MasterCard link is there?
100%, yeah. Innoverse.
So
Spoke about that last week.
People can go credit card, dink, thank you very much.
Yeah, because at the moment, it's being advertised as people can spend crypto anywhere MasterCard's used, but in a year's time, it'll get flipped round to buy assets with your MasterCard.
So let me walk that with you then. All right, so it's Saturday evening, all right, and you and I have decided that we're going to buy £1,000. Let's just say we are, all right. How do you think we're doing that?
What do you mean, buy £1,000?
So tonight, for example,
you mean trade for?
No. We're going to roll the calendar forwards. Let's say we're 6 months forwards, right? The game has launched, and all of a sudden, I can do everything that you've just said. How am I going to pay for the Astro Energy when I've got £1,000 in my bank?
You can't. You've got to stake it, haven't you? That's why.
That's what I'm saying to you. Because he's saying to you that you can just take your MasterCard out and buy it.
Yeah,
and you're also just completely forgetting the point that I said you'll be able to spend Astro on it as well, and it'll likely be cheaper if you do. But that's the be all and end all of that conversation. But
hear me out. So what I'm asking is that on the Saturday night, we have decided we're going to take £1,000 out of our bank account, and we know that MasterCard is already linked with the game, and they've already opened, and everything is available. So are you saying that I can do it multiple ways? I can take my MasterCard and buy it. I can take Astro Energy. I can buy it. I can take Astro Coin, or I can take Ethereum. Are you saying that those are my 4 options?
In the end, yes, and more.
Okay.
I'll go as far as this, Peckham. In the end, don't put a time limit on this for me, mate. But in the end, anything you can think of that can be physically and possibly tokenized can be swapped in the metaverse in the future. Open Metaverse that's interoperable. The rest of it's irrelevant in it. If they set up a MasterCard deal, right, and have apps out with in-game purchases and don't allow people to have USD, Australian US dollars, New Zealand, I don't care what currency your fiat currency is, if they don't flood it through MasterCard that you can buy a goblin with £10, then it all falls on its face. Why, it's gonna be there. Why would it not be?
I agree with you, but I'm asking the question of how you get there. Are we saying that it doesn't matter if in 6 months or 9 months, 12 months time, it doesn't matter how long it is, but are we saying that once this launches, I can do all the things that I want to do without using Astro Energy?
I reckon so.
I would say most likely yes. I'd also add to that, we don't know for certain because we're not on the teams. But would also suggest people sit back and seriously think about why they partnered with Ripple.
Okay, so let me ask you another question.
What's been built at Ripple.
So let me ask you another question, because as you've already said, people aren't discussing this. So we are probably the only people that are actually having a genuine discussion about how you're going to take pounds, dollars, yen, whatever it might be, out of your bank account and buy this without directly buying Ethereum.
Interledger protocol. Done.
And do you think the retail will do that tomorrow morning?
It's up to retail to do it. It's there, ready for any retail or merchant that wants to implement it. Uphold already do. I don't send Great British pounds to my bank account from Uphold. I send XRP or Ethereum, and it lands in my bank as Great British pounds because they're using the Ledger protocol.
One function which, yes, you would seem to be an advanced use case, which I have to commend you for that, because that seems quite a good little link.
But again, Interledger protocol is the thing that can move anything. I could be doing that with gold, mate. Does someone tokenize gold? And then we can do it with gold straight away. This is what I mean by once the asset is tokenized, Interledger protocol can move the ownership of it. Doesn't mean it moves the asset. It'll only move digital assets straight away. If you've got a physical asset that's represented digitally, there's still logistical stuff that needs to happen. For instance, if you're running through the metaverse and you go in like Ready Player One style and buy your touch sensitive suit because you want one now and it's out, that'll be an Interledger protocol transaction where it'll be paid and settled on the spot, but that asset that you've bought still needs logistically bringing to you. But you'll own it the minute you buy it, just like you own something the minute you buy it on Amazon. Interledger protocol flips ownership in seconds without any middlemen needed. It just doesn't need middlemen. It does it algorithmically.
Then why are we not running around the metaverse now?
Well, because they try to win. They've only just fucking partnered with Ripple. They've got a community of people who hate XRP, so they bought it. Like imagine wanting desperately to come out and sell Interledger protocol and tell the masses about it, but you've not even managed to sell them XRP yet, and the XRP ledger, like they've not even.
This whole route delay is probably down to the court case in America, because if they were to go live, it would shut out a lot of the audience that are in America. So I reckon
depending, right, Chris, when you look at them wallets and see that 30-odd thousand, 40-odd thousand XRP and that, depending on how much the company have declared that as leverage, you're 100% right, because they're holding a potential security asset as leverage in a limited company that's just merged with multiple other limited companies. That potentially could be it. But yeah, people really need to start looking more in. Do you know what? I deleted all the documents the other day.
Well, that was a smart thing to do.
Well, because I needed room on my PC and people don't usually ask about it anymore. Excuse me. Let me just make sure I did. Because I generally...
So let me pose you a question that's
probably... there they are. I've got one backup of them left at least.
Do you think... I wonder what else he's got in there. I was just thinking, do you think any of this is actually going to take place while Biden is president?
Again,
they'll kick the can down as long as they want. They've been doing it for years, so they'll just kick the can down the road.
I don't want.
But that's what I'm saying. Do you think,
yes, Mo Meta in the comments. Don't know how long you've been there, lad, but throw Mo Meta a Discord invite. Get him in the chat if he's still about.
He is in the Discord. Mo, if you're in there, we're in the.
Happy birthday to Kevin, by the way.
Yeah, happy birthday, Kev.
Boom, boom, boom. Why not responding? It's a PDF, man. A 20 gig of RAM booming on After Effects before. Stephen Thomas and a few others, right, come up with this, but I don't know whether I know if I open the right documents and that.
Oh, this looks like the film, Scott.
Yeah, this literally is, isn't it? But it's about now. Everyone's good. You get the quant guys on, don't you? Saying that like, no, you're talking about quant, mate. You're talking about quant, and it's like, no, I can't use quant, and the W3C isn't with quant. So anyone who knows about the internet rapidly, we all know that we use networks to get on the internet, and the Wi-Fi networks and Bluetooth networks and Ethernet networks and stuff. And we've got an IP network for internet working. We all have IP addresses. Above that, we have transport that sends the data about and the application that the data lands on. You all kind of know that the internet works in a way. Some people know more about domain name servers and now it's all passed about and that. But generally, that's how it works. This is how ILP will be working. Exactly the same way, but from blockchain to application. It's literally being used, like we say, by Uphold and everyone. It's, I mean, these are 2015, 16, 17 documents, Chris.
Yeah, it's a lifetime ago, isn't it now?
Yeah, the biggest problem in payments, lack of interoperability. We did so many videos on this, covered this so much. This is what got me into blockchain, not Bitcoin, not Ethereum, none of that. The new internet of money. That's how we saw it, the internet of money, because banks, blockchains, mobile money, it's all still segregated. All can't send Ethereum to Bitcoin, can't send Bitcoin to ADA. Internetworking for payments through Interledger protocol can change that. It's about liquidity pools. It's about escrows and IOUs, and if someone doesn't want that immediate asset that you're selling, it doesn't necessarily matter. It just needs to go on a marketplace that does want it, with the value going somewhere else in an IOU. Not going to sit here and act like I know exactly how they built it all.
Well, on that point then, if I can be slightly controversial, do you know how eBay works?
Do I know how eBay payment system works, or just eBay as a whole?
eBay works. Just eBay. Because what I'm saying to you, right, is that the average consumer cares not a jot about what you are looking at on your screen right now, because it's too complicated. They think they need a degree in mathematics, a degree in IT. They just look at it and go, no, thank you.
Yeah, that's why I'm skipping past it and trying to find the one that's better.
The only reason it works is because eBay went click, click, buy now, deliver. Thank you very much. Arrives tomorrow. And then there was PayPal, and then there was this, and then there was that. So until you get to a situation where someone can say, here is my bank card number, there is my NFT, you still have got to cross the chasm, because that's how big it is.
If you use the Uphold app, you can see how easy it is. It's literally click, click, done.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
So,
but
and
about how many people know about it?
Well, how many people ignore it, mate, on Twitter?
I would tell you now. I'll tell you now. I have been screaming for the last 4 years on my Facebook profile with anyone who knew me would listen, and barely anybody has. They ignored when Bitcoin went to 3,000. They ignored it for 2018. They ignored it every single year. And the only ones that have actually made any money have actually listened and actually done it, which is probably 3% of the people I know. So it just shows that it is still too complicated for the average person to comprehend it.
CBDC will change that, though.
But will it?
Well, yeah.
See, the thing is,
really.
And which government do you think is going to do that? A Labour government or a Conservative government? Because it looks like a red team coming in next.
Well, I think it's
right.
bank, isn't it?
Right. So the way I see it, though, right, you can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. People can't have it both ways. So you either learn about it and understand it, or you sit down, shut the fuck up, and just accept that it's coming. Just like most people had to with the internet. How many people in the 90s and 90s, all the way through 2010 to 2020, I'm not using email, I'll never have a digital bank account. Yeah, you will, mate. I'll never get in a self-driving car. Well, you're walking then, bro, by 2040. Jesus, you're doing it. You'll do it. The people need to literally just, I'm sorry, but either add Uphold and start using ILP, learn about Interledger protocol, and actually you do learn how it does flip this from that and that from this, and how Uphold actually doing that fast. I mean, I send Ethereum to my bank and 10 seconds later it lands in pounds. Ethereum's not that fast. It's using Interledger protocol, so you either just accept that it works, just like you do the internet and email and domain name servers, or you look into it and educate yourself on it. But it's coming. It's like the same people that are in charge of the internet, the W3C, are in charge of Interledger protocol. The World Wide Web Consortium are now in charge of building an internet of value.
Morning,
what's happening,
morning,
Mo?
guys.
Hello.
I mean, I've really just jumped into this conversation, but
Oh,
it's certainly
welcome.
a conversation. A conversation I've been having for many years, and I think I know quite well. But the conversation's also changing so fast now from what it used to be to what it possibly can be, let's say, in the very near future. And that really is, how do we just repair everything behind the scenes regarding atomic settlement and liquidity so that the retail user doesn't know they're using it, because that's all that matters. It doesn't matter how it works, just matter that it does work. So I guess what I'm trying to say is the whole transition from your digital wallet being integrated with a MasterCard through to how that goes to you buying a coffee through the shop owner, ending up in their bank and then being transferred overseas. For the retail user, it's just, using your phone to touch pay for a coffee. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
But can I work through those steps behind the scenes of potentially, if we just talk about the Futureverse doing it, how that runs, on what rails that runs on? Is that something I can bring into this conversation?
Yeah, you're damn right. You
mate.
can.
Crack
Roll.
on.
I'll just do Australia because that's where I am. And New Zealand's the same, because if you've got the Commonwealth Bank, that's just ASB Bank. If you've got ANZ, that's Australia New Zealand Bank. So with the MasterCard integrated into the Central Pay, Central Pass system simply means that that's KYC AML compliant. That's the most important thing for this to be able to operate, right? Central Pass, Central Pay. Now, that integrated MasterCard to the wallet through Immersive simply means that when you pay with anything in your wallet, it gets converted to USDC. But let's just stop that for a second. Let's just remember, the person who's paying simply has this whole setup already, their digital wallet, and is simply paying with MasterCard at the retail. But behind the scenes, what is happening when that happens is that integrated MasterCard goes from transferring what is in your wallet. So let's say you're paying with Ethereum. Now that Ethereum is going to get converted using XRP, obviously, into USDC because it's that layer 1 DEX. And now that USDC is going to get converted into the Australian digital dollar at the retail end through the MasterCard when it pays that retailer who's using an FPOS system. Now that FPOS system runs on Hedera Hashgraph. So now the person who's buying pays the retailer with that MasterCard, USDC, into CBDC. Now it's going on to Hedera because Hedera runs the back of house for the FPOS, Electronic Funds Point of Sale. Now that'll shoot through to your bank. Now, if your bank is ANZ, then ANZ is running on Zinfin, so XDC. So now it's on XDC, moving around their banking system with ANZ. Now, should that company who you bought the coffee off have their headquarters offshore and need that money back overseas, well, they might use ODL, but either way, chances are they're going to either continue with Zinfin or XRP and have that on-demand liquidity and shoot it overseas. That's a lot of different currencies it's moving through from the time it was in your digital wallet to the time it got shot off overseas on ODL. There's a lot of different winners in this space, but the thing is, it's happening with atomic settlements so damn quickly, no one needs to know how it works. But these integrated rails of like this interoperability of how it moves through them all is what's important here, that it does work and that it works really, really quickly with really carbon neutral, I guess, because that seems to be what everyone cares about, and super efficiently, for no cost, especially when you're paying your gas with XRP behind the scenes. So does that make sense, or is that just too much to unpack?
It makes absolute sense.
It does make sense.
Clarity, yeah.
With the document I've got up here, it's basically like I was getting at with
Multi-hopping.
the IOUs and stuff, yeah, multi-hop. With Interledger Protocol, like you say there, it's starting off with currencies. And like with you there, Peckham, I'd bit like to be skeptical and speculate on that myself, but they're selling it as an open, interoperable metaverse linked to Ripple, built with XRPL in mind. With what we've been in with the last 5 years, it's a no-brainer for me, the vision. Now, like you say, it's already been done with Uphold. I think the bigger question would be if we get to a point where we are flipping gold or there's kids selling Fortnite skins in Tesco. Tesco doesn't necessarily want a Fortnite skin, but someone somewhere in some marketplace does. And the Interledger Protocol algorithms, like as just said with all the other currencies, they'll just find that marketplace, flip it for the asset that is wanted, and boom, the multi-hop's done. And it'll happen so fast, with a trustless, seamless interface that no one, like say, no one's gonna care how it works in the end. It's just frustrating in the Futureverse community when you try and have these conversations with people about XRP, XRPL, and the Interledger protocol, and they just try and shoot you down straight away. It's a shame, because it is the answer to the Ready Player One world that we all want this Futureverse and Open Metaverse to become. We want to be able to take assets from one universe and world to another. We want payments from anywhere to anywhere in anything. That's generally the gist of it. It doesn't really matter what you have of value. You should be able to swap it for anything else of value. Fascinating.
I really do feel that the sentiment within the Futureverse community has changed a lot since that first partnership regarding to how they feel about Ripple, the company. Now, most people, when they're talking about XRP, are very clear at saying XRP is separate to Ripple, and it 100% is. But this partnership that the Futureverse has is with Ripple, and Ripple has the CTO, David Schwartz, obviously. So when it comes to integrating a layer one into the XRPL, you need David Schwartz on board. You need to be able to create something. This is not a federated sidechain under the Hooks Amendment. This is deeply integrated, and it needed to be. And to do that, that's where that partnership was so important. But as anyone in the space will always tell you, it's got nothing to do with speculation. Everything regarding the price of XRP will only happen through people adopting this L1 and building on it and using XRP as a real use case. The more people who build on the XRPL, like the Futureverse, and utilize the benefits, that is the only thing that's going to increase the price.
Yeah.
Not on-demand liquidity or any of those other aspects of it. They're all great, but they are the rails. But people building is going to move the price of XRP. But back to my original comment, I feel the sentiment in the Futureverse is improved a lot. Could be better, but only when they start using it and see the benefits of it will that truly change.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, 100%. And I do want to make sure people do understand, if you're purchasing XRP as an investment, you are in it for more people to do that. That's what will drive the price up. The more people who buy XRP, hold XRP, and have it in a pot refusing to sell, the higher the price goes. Because anything else isn't going to push the price. I don't care what you want to say about volume or anything, or ODL, or even Interledger protocol. If we imagine we're using XRP as a bridge currency, that means every transaction where it is a bridge was a buy, sell, sell, buy, sell. Both things happened. They balanced itself out. It wasn't just someone buying XRP and then keeping it and holding it. Someone sold an asset into XRP. XRP was sent to somewhere else, and then it got sold into another asset. It's balanced on both sides of the equation, especially in Interledger protocol. ODL, you're buying it for the tech and the XRPL, how fast it is, how reliable it is. It is the future of the internet of value and money. When I say it is the future, I mean it's the future standard. If you can't keep up with and perform the same as XRP, you are already out of the race. It's as simple as that. That is why you see the root network ticker ticking off at what? 4 seconds. Exactly the same as the XRPL. Keep up, or you're out of the race. It's that simple.
Is it your opinion then that speed is of the essence?
Always is. Then it always is after you've covered distance.
But and forgive me for not paraphrasing exactly, but we just discussed about how someone takes their MasterCard, it gets converted to this, then Hedera Hashgraph does this, and then XYZ happens in ABC format. So it really doesn't make any difference about speed at the consumer end. It only makes a difference when someone is sat there and it says loading, loading. That's what pisses people off. So how you get around that makes no difference about speed.
At the retail end, what's happening is the velocity of money. Excuse me. So traditionally, that payment is going to happen in 3 seconds. From the consumer buying the coffee, that's going to be happening in the time it takes to tap the card. Pretty much by the time you pulled your card back, it's gone through as it would normally with an FPOS. Now, the difference here is an FPOS terminal would be holding that transaction, would be holding that money till the end of the day when it gets settled, right? At the end of the day, you settle your FPOS terminal and then it goes through to the bank. By using Hedera Hashgraph, that's not going to happen in 3 seconds probably. It might take 5, 10, 15 seconds, but it will happen in 15 seconds rather than sitting on that terminal for the next 6, 8 hours of the working day. So the idea is to start freeing this money up. We could knock 2% off inflation just by speeding money up and stop having it tied in clearinghouses and other places. So a big aspect of it for the consumer, yes, boom, payment is done instantly. That's what's important. But then all those other rails are going to help that velocity of money and the liquidity issues we're having by freeing all of this up to keep flowing. And the banks need to use it for the same reason, because they've got money. Yeah, they got stuck. There's got sticky points all over the place. So yes, go on.
It's a great point, and it's also worth noting, right, that when you're paying at the moment, you're not always settling, especially with international payments. It's Ripple's main mission all along is to reduce the international friction and cross-border, cross-network payments, which most people don't care about the settlement. They care that the payment gone through and the machine said, yeah. That's all that really matters.
Right.
You can cover that with IOUs, escrows, and that is the current expectation time of that is currently 15 seconds. Now, I'm saying 4 seconds because that is now my current expected time of the system to work when it hits into Ledger. Now, I understand that Uphold has its things to do, and they tell me it's 15 seconds. They keep up with the banking one, with the faster payments. The UK faster payments at the moment, you send a payment, it's there within 15 seconds. People have become to expect it. So Uphold, through ILP, is doing the same thing, but it's there within 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds.
Why?
Because we want instant settlement. We don't.
Your bank, yes, but why is it there?
Because we've got instant settlement and instant payments now.
It's not, because the bank in your bank says you have £100. The other place says we've received £100 because your liquidity is golden. Because your bank says you have got £100. If you want £101, it will probably actually let you spend it. It will then notify you that you've gone £1 over. Whereas at the moment, it is expected that if I want to buy 1.2 Ethereum, I need 1.25 Ethereum for the gas fee. So it is expected that the liquidity at the other end is already there, and it is not already there because you said to me, we need liquidity for this.
Peckham. Don't you dare bring Ethereum gas junk into a conversation about XRPL and ILP. Nah, mate, take them gas fees.
Liquidities. It's just
mate, what gas? Right, let's talk about XRP's gas fees and ILP's gas fees instead of some
gas fees. It's not about gas fees.
Then why did you bring them up?
It's about liquidity.
What you said then was everything about gas fees.
No. If I need to send £100 from my bank over to you, it is because I have an exact amount of £100 in my bank. It means that if I want to send XRP to you, I need £100 in XRP. But you also need to make sure that your end is also LP'd up for me to do the exact swap without making any.
Why? What?
Can I do this one? Can I jump in?
Yeah.
This one? Now, when Jed first made OpenCoin, they needed to solve a problem. They didn't know what they were going to use this OpenCoin token, which later became XRP. They didn't know what they were going to do with it. They knew it was awesome. They knew it was a layer 1 DEX. They knew they had to pick a vertical. And the vertical they picked was cross-border payments so that they could deal with that Nostro-Vostro issue that doesn't need to be there. And the whole part of liquidity in that conversation there is you do not need refunding on either side. You just need access to XRP. Because it's going to turn it into any currency you're holding is the point. And if we do it real simple from Australia to New Zealand, I'm in Australia, I need to send money to New Zealand. None of us need to hold XRP. I just need to hold Australian dollars. And then it goes to that convertible virtual currency, XRP, for 3 seconds. And then on the other side, it gets converted into New Zealand dollars. The bank I was interacting with did not need to be holding the Australian dollars that they needed to convert to New Zealand dollars. An American company doesn't have to have a pre-funded account in Brazil or wherever holding pesos
there's
or
no
anything
Nostra
like
Vostra
that.
stuff in this. It's you just need an XRP wallet, access to the XRP door.
They just need the ability to interact with XRP.
Yeah,
and that XRP can move that value. That was all.
It comes down to APIs and that, and there might well be companies that block ILP at first. Apple, almost definitely. Apple Pay. So I can go on up. Well, yeah, challenge for anyone. I've got Uphold. I can log into Uphold and instantly, within seconds, buy any currency on Uphold through Google Pay on my bank account. Now, can you do that on Apple Pay through Uphold in seconds?
I haven't tried it.
Because that would be an Apple problem, not an XRPL problem, not an ILP problem, and not a Scott Pratt problem. It's an Apple problem. I'm in open source Web3, interoperable communicative technology that brings people together and is basically free to use as long as you pay in the price to keep it turned on.
Okay, so you basically describe the issue with Ethereum and gas fees.
Ethereum can go suck a fat one, mate. I don't pay Ethereum gas. I don't care about Apple. Again, you don't seem to be listening to what I'm saying. Don't care what Apple do.
Apple will charge you 30% fee.
Yeah, Apple won't charge me shit because I won't have an Apple for the rest of my life.
And therefore, you can't use that service on Apple. So you've just described your own problem.
I haven't got that problem, Peckham, because I don't use Apple. People who use Apple have got that problem.
If someone doesn't accept XRP, then they have decided that they
want to
accept another version.
Wallet.
That's not a Web3 problem. Like, why?
I got a Bifrost wallet on my Apple phone. I got a Bifrost wallet. I got plenty of XRP style wallets on my Apple phone, and I can transact in the XRP just fine. Just before I jump off, and I have to because got to take the kids to the playground. I just want to make it something clear while we're in this conversation that a big part of speeding up these transactions for the banks is moving to the ISO 2022 standard, which is simply a messaging standard.
Yeah.
And if anyone believes that digital assets will be involved in that in any way, they're not. Anyone like Zinfin with XTC or Ripple with XRP or Stellar being ISO 20022 compliant, that simply means they're ready to use that messaging system.
They can do this.
Digital assets will be. They can do it. They're going to do that really fast settlement system, and this is to bring all the banks up to speed with faster settlement messaging. That's what ISO is. So ISO, just because someone's ISO compliant does not mean that they're going to be moving volumes of digital assets and it's going to shift the price. It means nothing. And the last one, there's no buyback. If you're listening to a channel that's talking about a buyback, stop listening to that channel now because that's just misinformation and ridiculous talk. So before I go, don't listen to buyback bozos or ISO idiots. And take the time because it's amazing what they've got behind the scenes. But I got to go. So love the conversation, guys.
Cheers for popping in, Mo. Speak soon. Or Scott. See you in a bit, lads.
Scotty. Later.
In a bit. Yeah, so basically, to bring that back and simplify it a little bit, when you hear in the future, you hear Gary Gensler or anyone else in the economic circles talking about Swift being a one-way messaging system and a slow messaging system and just a messaging system. That is an instant messaging shit system that does instant payments. Your bank allows you to pay instantly. But they want to get to this multi-hop that takes a few seconds, but they're calling it instant because the settlement is instant. If they can move the actual value, being digital value, straight away from bank to bank or wallet to wallet, they will, and it will move in seconds. But as we said, if it logistically can't, you'll have to wait for a delivery of whatever you just purchased. But the settlement will be instant. And it's because we don't want to live in a 70s banking infrastructure that was built before the internet and simply can't handle how fast we want it to move. People freak out. Once you're deep in XRP, you freak out at stuff taking too long. It freaks you out. If my stuff hadn't hit my bank in a few minutes, I'm like, what's going on? And it's always a uphold problem. It's a capitalist problem. It's the centralized system
problem,
that
yeah.
I'm fucking using's problem. It's never the Web3 problem. It's never the XRPL ILP. It's never that. Ever. That's been ticking every 4 seconds for the last 13 years or some shit. What is
Well, I
it
think
now?
we
It's
covered
actually
that,
11 years, isn't it? It's 11 years now, isn't it? It's rolling up to 11 years. Fascinating that it's been over a decade.
2012, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. It was 2012 as OpenCoin, like Mo's has been saying. But then it went to XRP, I think, around 2013. But yeah, you've got valid points, Pegman, but at the end of the day, it's like, stop using that system. Like, once you can bridge Ethereum assets to root and use cheap fees, stop using Ether. It's no longer an argument. Yeah, people who feel compelled to use Ether can sit there as like, yeah, but fees are too high on Ether. It's like, well, use ILP and root. What's up?
This is why Futureverse have created their own layer.
Yeah,
one, isn't it, to get away from
mate,
this.
I knew layer 2 and all this bullshit upload. Or wait till the fucking fees will come down. Fair enough, fees came down, but they didn't come down enough, mate.
Not that I want to trigger you even more, but
nah, don't mind that.
If I might just ask a question. So if I was to then say to you that we're going to use XRP for all these transactions and everything else, it's going to be all very cheap and everything, all happy Larry. Does that therefore mean that anything stored on Ethereum is actually the store of wealth coin?
It's part of it, yeah. When people talk about the transaction as wealth from multiple industries into a new one and multiple assets into a new one, it is the biggest transaction of wealth we have ever seen. And Ethereum will just be another store of value that gives staking rewards.
Do you want it on root or do you want it on Ethereum?
In what way? For what?
If I'm saying to you it's now the store of wealth where everything is subpath. So, for example, I don't want a Matic.
Nah, don't start pinning that on me. It's not a store of wealth. It's not a store of wealth. It's not a store of wealth. Fuck it, but it can die. Fuck it. No? Kill it tomorrow. It's gone. Kill it. Kill it.
So you're saying the
fucking store of wealth. NFT, that's where you was leading to, innit? It's the fucking future of fucking digital gold. They all are, mate. How are they not all? Every crypto that succeeds from now till 2045 is the future digital gold. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Zcoin, Bcoin, Ditcoin, Copcoin, big fat Bill coin. As long as they're still here in the 40s, they're there, they've survived, and they will be a store of digital value. Doesn't but any one of them can crash and burn. Something comes along at 2 seconds, bye XRPL. Because you're only doing 4 seconds, bruh.
Could scale up as well. But just want to mention something that Matt posted in the chat. He was saying, do we think that tax will become automatic in the future? And this brings you down to micropayments, doesn't it, Scott? We've talked.
Yeah, so I've spoken about, imagine a smart vehicle. I mean, we're probably going to be on smart cars by then, but vehicle tax, vehicle insurance, road tax, all the rest of it. Why are you paying the same amount? Why are you paying like yearly tax? Estimated. When we don't all drive our car the same. Some people drive well more miles. Some people barely drive the car. My suggestion is in the future, through micropayments, that the system will know when you're driving your car. So while it's on your drive, the insurance payments should be less because there's less likely you crash. You shouldn't be paying tax because it's off the road, so the payment should stop. But the minute you drive off the driveway, chances of crashing go up, so you start paying insurance. You're on the actual road using it, so you begin to pay your road tax. Per second payments, micro payments. Now, it doesn't have to necessarily make the payment every second. It just has to track it, make it every hour, track it, make it every day. But just make sequential payments that attract per second. We'll take it further to Netflix, all the rest of the streaming shows. Why are we paying them all separately? Why are we not paying Coil, an overhead umbrella service that they all implement the API to? And when I'm watching Netflix, comes out of my Coil, pay per second, bounce over to Disney Plus.
Not everything has to be on the blockchain.
So not everything, but we're not. It's improving it.
Does it need to be?
Yes, you're fucking right. It does. You're crazy.
Yeah, well,
Where's your
well, on the
taxes
net-
go?
on the-
Where'd your taxes go, Peckham? Show me.
Appar-
Show me the paper
apparently-
trail. Nah, show me the paper trail of your taxes, bro.
Apparently, it's
Every
45
penny of
million
it.
pound a day.
Every
what
penny
Britain
of your
makes
taxes. Show me the paper trail.
On fuel duty alone, the UK makes 45 million a day.
You can't prove that.
I can.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can.
You
Because all
can't.
you got to do, you can. Because
What?
all you have to do is work
A-
out the total number of litres sold in the UK. You work out the number of tax it is. Terms that by the
How do you
number
know
of
how many
litres, you
litres were
have the-
stored by preppers?
Well, no, it's just an example. I
So
mean,
you
I'm
can't
just
prove
saying.
it. So I'm not talking in examples. I'm talking in absolutes here. We're talking about a technology that can bring us democracy, and people like to laugh and have jokes about it. This is like we've got broken systems that need fucking fixing. We've got technology
agree
that can
with you.
fix it. Well, you agree, but you turn around and say not everything has to be on blockchain when we talk about
Doesn't
taxes.
all have
Yet
to
you
be.
can't tell me where your taxes go, and you can't prove where your taxes go. Put it on blockchain, and I could prove where your taxes go every fucking penny.
Yeah, which I agree with you. But what I'm saying is that not everything has to go on the blockchain.
I didn't say everything.
No,
And
but I'm
everything
saying, for
should be
example,
on DLT.
Netflix,
Everything Netflix
watching,
payments should
you
be
know.
on DLT.
I'll give you an example. Right? I haven't watched anything on Netflix now for months because you tend to binge watch it, but then you don't cancel it because maybe there'll be something new that comes out in 3 months' time. And all of a sudden you've watched Netflix. You've had Netflix for 6 months. You haven't even barely watched anything because you all binged it for 3 weeks in 1 month 6 months ago. So and for me to say how could I blockchain that, for example, I just don't think it needs it because it's like a gym membership. You either go or you don't.
So you don't think there's too many things to pay for monthly that you potentially might not use?
Oh, but no, but
You can't cancel them all, mate. You can't cancel them all, mate. Can't cancel all gym memberships. Can't cancel all memberships. Can't cancel all car insurances. Can't you sell your car insurance if you're in the middle of a claim?
Now, the car insurance, I think, is a very good idea because therefore you've got provableness of history that you could show, actually, I've got 12 years no claims, even though they probably stop it after 6. I haven't checked up on my no claims recently, but as far as I remember, I haven't claimed on my insurance for the best part of a decade. But it doesn't necessarily mean that I've got cheap insurance. So I would say, legitimately, if I could prove, and also, like, I'll give another example. I mean, for me,
Do you know no claims should be
industry-
illegal? No claims bullshit.
Well,
That should just be a non-existent thing, and I'd be surprised to see community evolve about that.
It's a load of bullshit anyway.
I'd be extremely surprised to see community evolve.
I will give you a perfect example, right? One of the biggest problems we have in the UK right now is that if someone comes to me and they want to rent a property, they have to provide a reference. And they will always say, my landlord will provide me the best reference ever. I've always paid my rent on time. I've been there 7 years and I'm the best ever. All right. It doesn't make a squat of difference because 99% of a person's reference all comes down to affordability. Have they actually got a job that will satisfy the income required for that property? Whereas you've heard in the UK, people talk about rental passports. Well, what is a rental passport other than a blockchain on a piece of paper? So it would be far more valuable for someone to have a rental passport that is on a blockchain to prove that they have paid their rent for X number of years. And I would say to you that the average landlord would be more interested in that as a provable thing rather than someone saying they were a great tenant, they paid their rent, will they please get out because I want to sell my property? Do you see what I'm saying? There is a real world use case that can very much benefit by blockchain integration.
Every industry on the planet can benefit from DLT.
But it doesn't have to be used in a retail customer focus.
Didn't say it did.
No, I'm just saying to you, it doesn't always have to be that customer focused.
It's weird because you skeptically agree, and it's fucking weird, mate. You fucking attack. You're doing attack shit in a way.
I'm not. I promise.
That's like not well. Like how can you
always have two ways?
You're
things.
skeptical. You took a skeptical
Always.
stance against DLT payments on streaming services.
No, well,
Yes, you
in a
fucking
way,
did.
yes.
It's
In
not
a way, but
lie.
not
Or
but not
live
not
stream. I've recorded. We're on a live
not
stream,
di-
mate. Like,
not directly because I want to put blockchain down. I'm saying that certain things are very much well
name
suited
one. Name
more than something
something
else.
that wouldn't benefit on DLT. Name one fucking industry. I'll wait. That won't benefit from DLT. I'm not saying a cryptocurrency. I'm saying DLT. Distributed ledger technology. You don't even think blockchain, mate. Name one industry on the planet that won't benefit from DLT implementation.
The cartel.
There's fucking isn't one. Anyone who uses even anyone who uses a paper or digital ledger will benefit from DLT. Simple. It's like saying a tractor won't benefit from an engine. Sit down.
So currently, for example, right, if you were in the bar trade or the restaurant trade, is probably more accurate, and you wanted to buy seafood in the UK, the 99% of the likelihood is you're going to buy it through MJ Seafoods. And if you wanted to know, for example, and have had experience of this, is that if a customer needed to know if that tuna had any adverse reactions, or a company needed to know if a customer had any adverse reactions in an opposite way, you can actually track that tuna steak all the way from where you bought it, your supplier, all the way to the line of the fisherman and the part of the sea that it was actually caught in. So
interesting. So is that system on DLT?
No, but it's
then I don't trust it. I'm sorry, but I don't trust it. I can't get into it. I've not got no access to it. I can't view it. I don't trust it. Next.
Well, I think satellites would probably be able to enable that proof, because someone could say,
I don't have access to satellites. So again, satellites aren't decentralized. So we just picked two. Space industry would benefit from DLT. As well as food logistics. Got another one. Because every industry on the planet, I don't care where you go with this, mate, any company that tracks data can benefit from an immutable ledger. And anyone who doesn't understand that needs to take a step back from Web3 and reevaluate what DLT actually is. Because we will never have a democracy if we can't fucking agree that on how DLT can actually be implemented in industries that currently have ledgers and need ledgers.
So,
which is every industry on the planet. There isn't one.
Talking about ledgers, is there anything else that's coming with Walker World or something that we can slightly in a very seamless way?
See again, we'll be on the staking. I'll be bouncing soon anyway. We're on nearly 90-minute podcast. Been a good one this week. I've enjoyed it. And again, me tone, man, I'm blunt to death. Typical fucking man, can't I? I don't mean to be aggressive, if I sound it, to people who don't know me. People watching the stream thinking, fucking hell, man, I'm going to climb through the screen in a minute. Yeah, I get a bit tonal. And we've got the staking coming, but they're doing loads of little...
What is the trait thing? Because I haven't followed up on this.
Oh, yeah, so they're going to be doing like a prize drop. So I think it's for the next 6 months, was it? They're going to
28 weeks.
Pick a trait, and then one person who holds that trait will get like a prize.
So it's dropped. I don't have to go and pay gas or do something.
It just has to be in your wallet.
Oh, nice.
Be like a lottery, basically.
Yeah, but you can just basically decide that. I mean, for example, this is a great. I mean, sorry to just cut him, but you know how I was talking about doing this Trinity thing together. All right. Now I know it was probably too soon, too quick, and quite expensive, but this is a great example of what I'm talking about, because currently these are priced at about 5% of an Ethereum. So you could legitimately say, between the three of us, hypothetically, of course, we're going to spend, I don't know, £500 on crypto between now and 6 months' time. So we know that between the three of us, we are able to probably buy 3-4 of these, maybe over a 6 month period each. So there's almost 10 there that we can choose But we should then be deciding that actually you're going to go and buy this one, you're going to go and buy that one, and only choose that trait or this trait. And therefore, whatever we get between us, we can then pull together those benefits as another revenue stream if you wanted it, or you could keep the assets because I quite like that one, I really want to keep it, you know, for example. And it just means that you're not then having to go and spend, oh, I've got to go and spend half an Ethereum because I need to go and cover all these bases. I think personally, if there are 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 of us, whoever it wants to be, it's going to be a far more advantageous way of going about it.
Gonna need a document written up. Just
I don't think you need to, mate. I mean,
If
we're talking about $300 here between, you know. I mean, we're not talking about bringing $1,000 out, you know. What I mean?
Yeah. No, certainly. Something. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be surprised that it needs it. You'll be with ownership these days. It's tricky, mate, especially with assets that you're talking about getting rewards for. Staking, you think I'm moving a female out of mine when I'm about to get staking rewards? Got another thing coming. Who's gonna?
Oh no,
Who's gonna move a female walker? It's not the $300 value of a walker, mate. I'm about to stake her. I'm waiting for an Atem car, like because I've got an Atem jacket. But I'm just gonna pass. You can't just ask people. Yeah. Can't just ask people say, oh yeah, we just need a few females send into this wallet. It's not as simple as that.
My hat to you, sir.
Now, when Walker World drops, yeah, we'll be able to fill our boots with stuff like that, but we'll have missed out on certain things. It would be better.
When it's staking,
it'd be better to gather money.
When?
It'd be better to gather money off people in a wallet that's controlled by everyone who's putting in trusts.
So you're going to look at the camera right now and say, "You send me Ethereum."
Nah, no one send me shit unless you want Scott Pratt to spend it on buying himself a Fluf or a brain. Someone send me a brain. That'll do. Gen 1, baby. I was getting at the fact we missed the squad holders. We missed the squad holders screenshot.
That's coming afterwards, isn't it? Because that's coming after, isn't it?
For Walker World.
Yeah. Because
I know the Wilder World one's been, the Trinity snapshot's been, but
yeah, we still got the squad for Walker World. 3 females, 3 males, and 3 guns.
Because you got to fancy that the male ones are probably going to bottom out at around about what 0.1 of ETH, maybe 0.08 ETH. So
what are they now?
I think about 0.16, are they?
It's going to cost you half an ETH for 3 of those. Almost.
The land sale for Walker World is scheduled for Q2 of this year. The
Q2.
Yeah,
so
squad holders will get a free plot.
0.14. So basically what we're talking about is that if there was 3 people, you're basically putting in $230 each.
But you need shit females. You need people with females.
But
I don't even want to put my weapon in because my weapon's getting me access soon. I'm not put like. I'd rather just
then buy another one.
Rather just throw 50 quid in.
Yeah, but buy another one then. That's my point.
Yeah, but then it's there in my wallet, then, isn't it? It's not the same, man. It's
6 months.
It's not the same. It's not this. It's not. If it
is,
was right,
trust.
Peckham, stop telling me what's going on in my head. If it was that easy, I'd have already sacrificed a Seeker, wouldn't I?
Mate, you ain't not sacrificing no Seeker. No.
But it's just the same, mate. But it's just the same as putting 60 quid in, mate. It's just the same, though. No. See? Wait for that 60 quid. But then when I buy a new Seeker, I've got another. I don't want to sacrifice the Seeker. I just want to put 60 quid in and get an amulet. Is that so much to fucking ask?
Yeah, but we can buy an amulet.
Can I? What's the floor going to be on by the time they're available?
Oh,
got people sacrificing Atem flaming chassis. Atem chassis, mate. You try 0.8. Try 0.8. Try Mate, try 0.5 for the bronze, 0.8 for the silver, and 0.5 for the gold. Do you not realise that gold were 15 Seekers? There was 1,500 quid, mate.
Are they? Yeah, well, 1,500. Yeah, okay, fair enough. So, that's like
over an E4.
That's 1.5, isn't it? Yeah,
for the gold. 0.81 ether for a silver, about 0.4, 0.5 for a bronze, 100%. If people think that they're going to be getting a fucking bronze amulet for the price of a shit fucking C-car, you've got another thing coming. You're not. Some of these guys, they burnt bad boy seekers, mate, and they'll want that value back. It's still that value to them. They were sat on some bad man seekers.
So, for example, right, if you were to look at the Genesis Walker ones, the male ones, so the floor one, the cheapest one, has currently got a WETH offer of 0.125. So you are in a situation where you can quite clearly see that if somebody wanted to sell their asset today, they can have $180 if the first 4 people sold, and then for some reason they decided to drop the price to 0.11. So for 10% off in Ethereum, someone can have their money today for $180. Now, if the price of Ethereum went to $2,500, that person has still made more money than waiting for 0.13. So you can legitimately say that the floor on these assets is 0.1, maybe 0.11, maybe 0.9 if someone really, really has to sell it and for some god known reason they can't accept a WETH offer for some reason.
Yeah,
so it shows that basically if the 3 of us want to go and decide to put in together that is separate to anything you currently own, you are going to have to buy a Ethereum-based asset for $230. Then you're going to have to buy a weapon, and then you're going to have to buy a female. So in effect, you're going to buy a quarter of an Ethereum each and put it into the pool, and you've got all the assets for a staking requirement. Are you saying to me that that is something you cannot do?
Yeah, I ain't doing that. I'm not selling my car till September, mate.
No, but I'm saying you would be buying it now. I'm not saying you have to do it tomorrow. I'm not saying you have to do it in the next 30 days. I'm saying that in effect, what you're saying is it's a $300 investment, which is in effect 250 quid. And you're going to spread that over what, 2 to 3 months?
That's halfway to a brain for me. I've not got a Gen 1 brain yet. And the next asset I buy that's $300 or more will be a Gen 1 brain before I'm selling my car to buy one of them.
Yeah, but all right. So let's dial it through, for example. All right. You might decide in the future that you might then say.
There'll be other people in the community, but it won't be me.
No, but hear me out. You might then decide to say, well, actually, I would like to swap 1 or 2 of my assets, and I would like to have one of the Gen 1 brains.
No.
And someone might already have one and say, okay, no problem, I'll take your share for a Gen 1 brain. That has got to be value for money on the table, got to be worth more than buying Ethereum and trying to buy it for cheap.
Yeah, that's a nice hypothetical situation you came up with there, but I don't fart roses and I live in a shithole. So
that's what I'm discussing with you, and I'm saying that is an option that people could discuss because it's
other people will be all over this, mate. Some of these whalers and that, they'll be all over that kind of stuff, but you're talking to the wrong guy to pitch in for assets, man. That's all I'm trying to say.
How do you know? Because
I'm fucking on my ass skin. I can't afford shit without getting into it. I can't fucking afford to. How many, it's just, yeah.
I'm not Mrs. Doubtfire. I'm not going to come around and sprinkle your house up. You know what I mean? I'm just saying there are things that you could do looking future.
I've literally just said, without selling my fucking car, how much more do we need to say, mate? I mean, come on, man. I feel like you're just poking me on purpose.
No,
seriously, just to get this little rise out of me. Stop doing that. Because seriously, yeah.
Fair enough.
So, fucking just...
Never mind.
You know what I mean? I don't fart $300, mate. I can't just throw it into a fucking wallet. No.
And that's what's holding retail back, isn't it?
Obviously, because you've got
to get in.
Mate, without me getting too far into it, you've got a community full of whales who don't think they're whales.
Do you not think they're whales?
Not what? Of course I'd think they're whales. They don't realise they're fucking whales.
So what describes a whale to you?
See, you tell me yours first, and then I'll just tell you that you're wrong.
Because I think a whale is someone that's probably got, 10 of these?
A whale is person B. A non-whale is person A. Person B has at least 10 times more than person A. That's a whale.
Okay, well, I've got one of them, so I'm
Doesn't
clearly not a
matter
whale.
what that. I'm a whale to an African in a fucking cobalt mine because I'm sat at a PC in comfort. So to an African and some Filipinos and all other people, I'm a whale. But to me, the majority of the Futureverse community are whales. Mate, do you realise some of you are sat on 10, 20, 30 fluffs? You're fucking crazy.
That's quite a store of wealth.
Seriously, like we want to start running that down properly. People who are whales to people on their ass and at the bottom of the community, they need to start realising it. Because
a lot of people have like a lot of people have that's been grown through minting Futureverse.
yeah, but it
assets and
doesn't change the
selling them
fact
to
that they're
Fluf.
now whales, Chris, and they've got to realise it. You know, the last time we had this conversation in the Discord, what happened? Someone threw a bear at me, so I'd shut the fuck up.
What?
Yeah. Have
Wait,
a bear, Scott, and shut the fuck up. Accept your gift. Now, Tybo. Absolute
did you do with
fucking
that bear?
G. I obviously accepted it because at first I didn't even send the wallet, and then I got told I was rude for not sending the wallet address. So yeah, ended up with a fucking bear, which kind of proved my point that the person was a whale because he had a bear to throw away. Which wasn't the point.
What did you do with the bear?
Exactly, mate. It's in my wallet, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I can't go back in the
Right,
Discord
so-
and carry on
no.
the debate now. I've just got to shut
Yes,
the
you
fuck
can.
up.
No, yes, you can, because you are grateful of the gift.
Mate, I nearly give it away. I was
Yeah,
fucking
but
like,
why
what the
wouldn't-
fuck am I supposed
Yeah,
to
but
do with that?
no, but you might have passed it forwards, and you might have made someone else's day. You might have brought ray and sunshine. I think you've been very eloquent in what you've said, and someone has said to you, "Look, we think that you are valuable in receiving this gift." I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, I don't. They potentially wouldn't have done it if it had been a vocal thing.
Yeah,
I
but you
think I
could
got
go
away
over
with it
here and
because I
say
was
thank you.
typing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, to be fair play to you. Fair play.
Nah, but yeah. Anyway, the point got proven pretty much in the chat that I was talking to a bunch of whales who had God knows how many Gen 1 brains, fluffs, and bears. And I sat here struggling on buying another seeker to sacrifice. But mate, I'm not asking for charity and shit. I don't want to go down that road. I'm back in college. I'm struggling to get work at the moment because I have to have days off for college. It's a decision I made. I've spent a shitload of crypto supporting myself through it. It is what it is. Student loans next year. Woohoo! Won't be paying a penny of that shit back, mate. I will die in debt, and I've got no kids. Good luck getting that shit back. Going for a computer science degree, and I swear to God, I'm not giving them any money back. I'm taking as many student loans as I can get, and they can go and fuck themselves.
Fair play. Fair play. So
I suggest anyone else approaching 40 does the same, mate. Fuck them.
you are not approaching 40.
Yeah, I'm 38 and 39 in June.
Oh, fair play. Fair play.
Younger art. Skin
YouTube is
feels
treating
the
you
same
well.
as well. The NutriBoom. It's not sponsored by NutriBoom, baby. Nah, but
So,
yeah, that.
What else did we not cover on the thing? Because is it just a case where any trait is just going to get anything, and it's just like a pure lottery system, or what?
I
Looks like
think.
it.
I
They
think.
tweeted about it.
Yeah, they'll
In fact,
probably.
Peckham, you put it in the Discord actually.
Yeah, but I didn't really go into the detail of it. I just saw it and was like, oh, must tell the people the news.
I mean, the chance of you actually winning is it literally is a lottery because some of those traits have got. Well, actually, I suppose it's not that big a supply, is it? So.
Is it a
might not be
trait
as-
thing where you have to have combo traits where you have this and that, or is
Oh,
it?
I think the example they showed was like hollow jacket on it or hollow clothes. So anyone with like hollow clothes or the wag me helmet, which I've got, that would be that could be a trait that's picked. It's just like the fluffs do with every trait matters. So if you've got a certain trait, you'd get airdropped a reward.
And we can all be honest and say this is purely just to generate traffic.
Yeah, and sort of to keep people interested, I suppose, while the game
For 6 months.
Yeah, Walker
Yeah.
World seems to be pretty
For
close to
6
testing, but
months.
back end of summer, I see Walker Will coming out, me.
I think you'll be waiting till at least October.
Games never come out.
Yeah, that's the back
mate.
end of summer, man.
No, is it? Okay. I thought you were
Yeah.
referring to June or July.
Nah, June 20th, 23rd, September is summer.
Because what I'm trying to think is, when would
September,
you choose to
October.
release something? When everyone's on holiday? Italy takes the whole of September off. You know what I
It
mean?
won't be
So-
released. It'll be beta testing starts then. I should imagine.
Yeah,
That's when we'll get
internal
access to it.
testing very soon.
Is Rebel Bots the example that everyone is now going to follow?
Well, I don't know why they give release dates. Like, you don't see Rockstar saying, "Oh yeah, we're going to release a game." So this, like, they give you 6 years heads up, don't they?
Yeah, but
there's
once
no
the trailers
expectation.
drop, there's a date. Walker Will
Yeah.
should have thought about that before they did gameplay trailers and made
But
everyone
then
think that it was
if-
game
if-
ready.
If you look at E3, like, look at the trailers that they drop there. Like, oh, you know. new
Yeah, the
Fallout
teasers
games
are
and
next
stuff.
level.
And then you don't see the game for like 7 years.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
because, Chris, you know yourself. I can go to Unreal Marketplace now, get a pretty well built, decent scene that we could be putting in our world, yeah, and go and shoot a little fucking scene in it straight up with a little bit of help and budget. I'd be, yeah. Even Stacks dropped there. Loads of people in the community that proved they can do relatively really good renders, even at 4K. It's not hard
built-
to do your
but built-
trailer and hide that there's no game built.
Yeah.
Just because you built a landscape and added some things doesn't mean you've built a game.
Yeah.
Like,
And I suppose building it from the ground up is like another thing as well, isn't it?
Yeah, like I say, I could go and build a landscape tomorrow. I mean, it'd be a shit one if I only built it in one day. But I could build a landscape tomorrow and shoot a film in it of a Seeker. Potentially a Seeker trailer. It's a lot easier to shoot the trailers than it is to show gameplay footage of an actual level being played out. Do you know what I mean? Again, I could potentially drop a few of them AI beasts in a level and go in and kill them like I did in 2 years. I did nearly 2 years ago now. 18 months ago. There's a clip of that on Twitter where I'm just running around zapping people and it looks like in-game footage of a game that's nearly ready to play. It was the fucking day 7 or some shit. Like literally one of the first things I fucking learned to put together.
So what are we saying that when we get all these traits and whatever, you think we're going to be staking them as well? They can't be claimed if they're staked? I mean, what are we...
See,
what are
we state
assuming?
it depends on if you treat something it holds or if it's the colour of your hair in it and stuff like that. Like,
suitcases and stuff.
yeah,
Well,
it's,
soft staking, isn't it? So
I was going to... There you go.
like
That
on
was my
wax,
next
isn't it?
question. Yeah, I was going to ask.
It's like wax. You just have to have them in your wallet, and you
Oh, that's all right.
accumulated.
Yeah, that's okay. So basically, I can just go and buy a new iPad. Well, no, I do. iPod.
I'm
Buy an
I'm-
iPad from CEX and just make that the new hardware wallet. Then, in theory.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, sweet. There's one. I think for about 75 quid. I think I'll go and buy one tomorrow. Move
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
over and be done with it because I can't be bothered with it having in my wallet anymore.
Chris.
Mhm.
Drop a link to the Discord. In fact, I'll grab one. Invite people.
Do the custom, do the edit. Otherwise, it will only allow like 7 links. See the little blue thing at the bottom there? Edit link.
Make it valid for 7 days.
Yeah. No, not 7 days. Just do unlimited.
Yeah, that'll be all right. 7 days. People are in. Oh, it'll be all right. Unlimited. Don't sack it. Wait, expires never.
Yeah.
Let me put that one in because I put a 7-day one in. So there's
You know what you should do?
There's a new
You
one.
should- Do you know what you should do? You should type giveaway in chat. We're going to give away an NFT in chat.
Well,
and then
actually,
I bet you get 100.
talking of-
Well, that's what I was getting at. Join the
We have-
Discord is giving away a Gen 2 brain.
Yeah.
CryptoPunk giving away a Gen 2 brain. But they've also got Shrapnel whitelist slots available. To join the Discord, get in the chat, say, yo, Gen 2 brain competition, what's up? As well as Shrapnel whitelisting. Get my name on it. And get on the guilds. You know the script. You know the script, baby. I'm going to shut down. We're still in the Discord for a few minutes. Anyone wanting to come in the Discord for the chat, feel free to get in the Discord for a chat. We're in the games room. Come in and have a chinwag, but I'm closing the YouTube stream. An absolute pleasure. Love the stream. Peckham, come in every week, mate, please. I want
Thank you
more
very
of
much.
that.
Happy to, mate. Happy
Want
to.
more of that. No, it sounds like we're getting a bit irate at times, but I love a good debate, man. I really do. So yeah, thanks for that. Thanks everyone for watching.
Robust.
Thanks, Chris, as usual. We'll be back next week, and as we keep saying, these are only gonna get better. So yeah, lovely. You know the dance, live long and oddle. Strive for happiness, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.